Lovely people, a pleasant afternoon to everybody. All right, beautiful people. All right, I became a little wuss last evening, because I was so nervous. Hear me, sorry. I really and truly could not watch the elections, and there was something going on with Digicel. In fact, it was very, very slow. There was a lot of slowism and buffering and whatnot, because I was anxious. I mean, I was like second in line to vote yesterday. I went in a little bit after 7, voted. It took me a few little minutes, to whatever. And I mean, I reached work before 7:30, like a few minutes, well, before I couldn't be, the road was clear, and it's from one zone to another. So you must understand, it was that I really respected that they started on time and that it moved quickly. I'm getting an opportunity to now follow up on the different the concession speech of Mark Golding, which was, I mean, admirable. He just quickly said he conceded, and that's sportsmanship. I call it. I use the word sportsmanship, like when somebody enters a race and if you lose, you don't give a sour face and sour attitude. You might, no matter how disappointed you feel or deflated, you said, all right, good job to the opponent, and you move on. That eventually your blessing will come in time, in a different way, perhaps, may not be in that way. And so I respected that concession speech. And I also, afterwards, I listened to the, Prime Minister elect. I have to keep saying that because, he just moves into becoming Prime Minister and so on. So Prime Minister elect Andrew Holness' speech, which was good. And he came back. It was similar to the 2020's victory speech. But he said something, he said we have to ensure that arrogance doesn't set in. That is very important, Prime Minister, because you realize that people are not joking. So that is key. Arrogance has to go. That has to be a no. No matter how lucrative and beautiful and unusual your feat is. When I say you, I'm talking plural, the entire team. No arrogance. He says we have to listen to the people. Now, one of the things, Prime Minister, that I would love to see happen, and I'm going to keep it very real with you. Now, I understand that the people of Jamaica, because it's 3 million of us. I'm just using a figure. It may not be the exact 3 million, because you have babies, you have children, and so on. So let us say you have, not counting children, maybe 1.5 million of us to close to 2 million. I'm just using that in terms of adults. And you have public sector, which is a larger of the two portion, and you have private sector. The public sector workers for years have been crying out for better salaries. You see, the PC incremental thing, it really needs to cut out. One of the ways in which this can be streamlined, similar to what was done for both the Jamaica Labour Party and the People's National Party when they got 100%, 200%, and so on increase. So like a council, for example, would have earned 5 million. When you look, it jumped to 10 million and so on. Something similar needs to happen, in a sense, for some of the mid-tier workers. Look at, even when I say lower level workers, because there's some people who are underemployed. Somebody told me a few years ago that, and I'm not sure how true it is, but it could be possible that they work at a very popular BPO, working on the phone, not a supervisor, regular staff, not supervisory or management, which is the same, and they had their PhD. No, even if the PhD is in zoology, there is no way with the highest form of learning, that you're just on the phone, not in management. Even if it is to manage something at the back office, train them into something, but to respect the fact that he or she has the highest level of education. And on the phone, there are too many people who are underemployed. They need to go over this, look over the resumes of many people. I am one of them. There are too many of us who are underemployed. And it is not fair at all. It's not fair. Not fair. Because what ends up happening is that people are becoming unfulfilled. And when they would have hurdled this mountain, or when they would have exhausted doing good in this at this level, they can't get an opportunity to grow at a higher level, because sometimes the jobs are saturated or they're closed. It's only the select few can get that. In your victory speech, you said that we need to look at newer minds, bright minds, and all of that, which I can understand. And the reason why you're thinking that way, because you have now attained a higher form of education. So your thinking is quantum, your mindset has transformed. So you no longer will accept the bare minimum. You will no longer accept mediocrity. You're going to want something very solid. It's just automatic when you start to gain higher learning and higher knowledge. So that is, this is part and parcel why a lot of Jamaicans don't vote. Their pockets not feeling anything. So we are grateful. You mentioned something about prosperity, and I want to say this to you, Prime Minister, respectfully. So in the third book of John, not Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, the third book of, John the Revelator. So the third book of John, verse 2, it says, Beloved. When beloved, you're talking about my friends, people who I respect and love, and everybody. I wish above all things that you prosper. Now, the word prosper, when you look at the etymology, it is talking about prospering financially, prospering socially, prospering mentally, psychologically, and above and even as your soul, which is a mind, the will, and the emotions prosper. So it is saying a holistic prosperity. So you were mentioning, for some people it may be riches, some people it may be water in their pipes or roads. Yes, but prosperity is not really mediocre like that. It's a full gamut. It's the entire package. It is magnolious, it is grandiose, it is widespread. So it is financial, it is social, it is spiritual, it is mental, it is psychological, it is emotional. They have to prosper. But some of those ways, people will have to do that within themselves. The government more than likely would be able to help us financially and socially, which then will affect them psychologically and mentally and everything. They need more monies in their pockets. We need much better salaries. The PCPC, which they call incremental increments, not working. It's not really doing anything, because when you have inflation, things go up. When gas goes up, everything goes up. So for example, if somebody is earning who is underemployed, notice I say check the resumes of people. I know it can't just be widespread willy-nilly to everyone, but you check some people, not just those in management, but others. Look at some who may be in lower level, because they are probably underemployed, which many of us are. And so when you go into the civil service or the public sector and you look at their resumes, you get your team to look at it and look back at some of these people. You said, wait, this person has a master's and earning this? Crazy. Even if they have to what is the word again you're looking for? Kind of do when they have like a restructuring or whatever it is of their post. Even if they have to do more tasks, that's fine. But do some sort of restructuring, so that if you look, for example, they have a master's and they're earning 300 something thousand. And no, man, this is crazy. They should be earning 500 or 600. And that is why I give an example. So I know that it wouldn't go across the board for everyone and anyone. But too many people are underemployed, and we need to move from that, from underemployed to the right employment. So we need to come from mediocrity into some sort of expertise. Open more doors for people to be promoted, you know, and these things. So people need to feel more monies in their pockets. I guarantee you, sir, you want to see fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, whatever term. If people see better salaries, remember, somebody from your administration many years ago said that the people earning 500,000 are barely scraping. That was many years or so. So can you imagine? No. And there are many who are not even at the $500,000 mark, and they should be there because of their education and their skills and their knowledge and their expertise. Similar to what, in a sense, what was done for the politicians, so that you can get premium service and good work and improve morale. Change the salary, sir. Let it be far better, far, far better. Guys, you know what to do with TikTok and YouTube. Subscribe. Give me one of those lions. Thank you.